I'm Sarah. Just an update, really. 6 months ago, I think now it is, since I posted the last video as a sort of a vlog style. And yes, in that time we have been super busy. And I know in previous videos, if you've not watched them, you're more than welcome to go and have a little scroll through and see what you think. But in previous videos, I did mention that I weren't going to take too much on, and that, you know, I was more looking at a bit of an easier pace and everything else. Well, scrap that, because that did not happen. So now I'm looking at being able to sort of start again, so a bit of a start afresh with businesses and such. We were always looking at redoing a bakery and you know, starting that up as a part of a project for our children as well. We have got 8 children now, so we added another child since I last posted. We are foster carers, just for those of you that don't know, and we have 4 children that have been placed with us as long term, and that we hope to SGO over time. We've had 3 of those children for over 2 years now, 2.5 years I think we're coming up for, and it's been great. I mean, what difference it's made to our family and how we interact with each other, as well as what, you know, what we think of fostering as a whole. I don't want to turn this into a fostering video, but you know, I'll just take on that for you a little bit. But as far as business, the last time that I did post, I mentioned about us opening a bakery, which we did, and it were hard work, and we got it going. Everything were, you know, it were running quite well. It was taking a hell of a lot of us time, though, I've got to say, because we were doing everything from scratch. We were baking things from scratch, making everything. We were doing still the celebration cakes and all those type of things, as well as fostering, and you know, and I was still doing odds and sods of different things at that time. But in, I think it was the 23rd of December, we were told that we would have to vacate the location that we'd taken over, and that we'd put quite a lot of money into this. It was like over £16,000 had been put into building a bakery within this location. We'd put a hell of a lot of effort into making ourselves known within the local community, and, you know, known for doing things from scratch as well, not focusing on, you know, fatty foods and those type of things, but we wanted to be using whole foods as much as possible, the least amount of ingredients. So on the 23rd of December, we were approached by our landlord and asked to vacate. And I mean, obviously this is Christmas time and nowhere's open. It was really difficult trying to even look for another location that we could have gone into. We told a few people what were happening, but we'd not even had time to tell all those customers. Luckily, most of our Christmas orders were being picked up on the 24th, which that were fine. So we were able to tell all those customers that had pre-ordered with us, you know, that we're going to have to move. But obviously this was not ideal, and it placed a lot of stress on everybody, and we were starting to think that we were just going to have to close completely. There was nothing else that we really could do. We weren't going to be able to find anywhere that quickly. We tried to get into the inside market before, but like for 2 years pretty much we've been trying with that, but it's as closed off as anything, and nobody, you know, nobody gets in unless you've got a golden ticket. That's how it felt anyway. So we'd moaned about it, obviously, to a few people, and rather graciously, a lady came up with the idea of approaching the market again, and did that on our behalf for us, and we managed to get a unit. The caveat to that was that we needed to be out before the 2nd of January, and we had, I think we were on the evening of the 23rd at this point, so we'd only got Christmas Eve, which we were still operational on Christmas Eve, so we had to be able to be open and not take anything out on that day, so that everybody could come and do all their collections. So we did that, and then we looked at making ourselves available to be able to move mid sort of that Christmas period. So on Christmas Day, we went on the evening after we'd had the day with the children and everything else. Myself and my husband went down and we packed the whole of all the little bits and bobs away, and we moved all this stuff into the centre so that we could get the vans on the next working day when the market would be open and start and tram all this stuff over. So that is what we've been doing all Christmas, which is fun. But in addition to that, and we didn't obviously realise this was going to happen with the bakery, but we'd already started to venture into another business where once we'd got the bakery up and running and the children were able to deal with that themselves, we were quite happy that we were just baking for that. They were able to serve the customers, to have those relations and everything else with everybody, and that we were going to have time spare, given that all the children were going to be in school in January, to focus on a different business, which we started the process of just before we got the orders to leave. So anyway, we started this off, and it's a florist and a wedding business. So we're taking over a wedding business that somebody's had and nurtured for 16 years. And you know, we've done this before, I think I've mentioned in prior videos, and we absolutely loved it. It was really good sort of, you know, events are usually happy things, and it's just really nice. It's really nice to be part of something like that. So that's the part that we've been opening. And then obviously the bakery closing down and moving over got thrown into that, and that's really changed things up a little bit and made it a little bit speedier than it needed to be. And we had to put a bit of a hold on that. I have got plenty of footage that I am filming, and we are putting that onto one of our other channels, but I'm more than happy to do some crossover content. If anybody would like to see that, drop us a comment, let us know if that's something that interests anybody, of us sorting out and starting up these locations as we do them. So yeah, floristry, artificial as well as fresh flowers. It is something, like I say, that we've touched on before, and I've really enjoyed doing it, but I always saw it as a hobby, as opposed to a business, which now I'm looking at it from a slightly different angle, because I'd like to turn our hobbies, the things we love to do, into business. And this is one of them. I'm not saying I love getting behind a camera, because I don't, but I do really, we watch a lot of YouTube. This is the best way I can explain it. So we watch tons of YouTube, more than anybody's saying I probably should. And we really, really focus on watching people that have like valuable content, or are saying things or resonate with us, and what we're all about and how we do things. And I think that a lot of people do search for things like setting up businesses and large families and all those type of things. And I feel that, you know, even if we've only got value for one person, that's still one person more than we've got if we just keep all these things to ourselves. So I feel a little bit like we're in a unique position, being as busy as we are, as big as a family as we are, unique opportunity with disabilities and all those things that we have in our household and we deal with daily, to be able to give a little bit of insight or reassurance, even if anybody really needs that there is other ways of doing things, and this is it. You know, we've decided that we want to sort of make a channel, or a few channels, as it seems to be going, but we want to do that in order to be able to allow people snapshots into our lives, and allow those people as well, if they do find value in this content, to comment and ask us things, and you know, I'll try my best to answer those things, and if I can give you answers or give you some sort of direction, then I will. And if not, and if you don't have any content that you like for us, you know, just keep going until you find somebody that you do. You know, I think there is somebody out there for everybody on this platform, and we've really enjoyed doing it. Like I say, we did have a 6-month break, but that we just had so much on. Now, even though we're at our busiest time, given that the last 6 months has been busy, but this is really busy, that we're opening 2 businesses again. And I'm midway through doing the first year of my jewellery course as well. So there's a lot going on. And we've just taken on another boy, and we're looking at the long-term matching and all those type of things with fostering, as children are all finally going to school. Today, first day that they've all gone. The little one at 3-year-old, we were waving her goodbye, and she just did not care, ran in and played with the friends. But I like to think at some point in the day she's probably realised that we're not there. But yeah, no, it's great. She's gone, and she's gonna love it. I know she will. She's been bored at home. We're not enough for her. Kids need kids. So that's us. That's where we've been. That's sort of where we're going. It's a little bit of a mismatch of everything that's going off at the minute, and I haven't really spoken about it in as much detail as I probably could. But anybody that wants to ask a question or has any recommendations on what video you think I should be covering, what content I should be putting out there, then, you know, pop it in a comment, or, you know, like and subscribe and see where we go. It'd be great if you could do either of those. And we thank you very much for spending your time with me. Thank you. Goodbye.